For me in particular, being a smaller rider, the weight has been really important, and they were able to not only make this bike handle better, but also be as light as it needs to be to dominate on some World Cup courses. It's always really exciting to have a new bike to ride, but it also requires a lot of work to get it, not only to be set up kind of perfectly for my settings and how I want it, but to kind of learn what's different about it and be as comfortable on that new equipment setup as I was on the last one, or maybe even more comfortable. I'm lucky to have the help of my mechanic, Brad Copeland. By the time the bike gets to me, it's already most of the way there. But at that point, it's about dialing in the fit, the feel, and the settings.
We've gone through a lot of bikes and bike changes together over the years. Some of the things I keep track of are just her basic general fit numbers. And you know, if you've been a cyclist or a serious cyclist, you know those numbers are pretty important. And just being a little bit off can have fairly large consequences in terms of either biomechanical issues, pain, even injuries. Some of the magic in the algebra is when we switch bikes, which we do as a pro athlete, the greatest thing that you get is new, awesome equipment constantly. But sometimes that's bad because it comes when you don't want it and you're not ready to switch. And so it takes having somebody who you trust and particularly good communication and the ability to articulate what she's feeling, and for me to translate that into her bike.
This year, Scott launched the brand new Spark model. It's a completely redesigned frame and geometry, and it's certainly going to be a very next level bike.
It's an amazing bike. So we've added some travel to the bike. It's a little bit more, as the kids say, a little more down country in its configuration, but it has an adjustable head angle so you can kind of tweak the handling characteristics as well as the fit of the bike. But we're adding an inch of travel, which is kind of significant. I'm not sure if, when you imagine a cross-country bike, that's the direction you head, but as we look at how courses have evolved over the last decade really, but more recently I would say in the last 5 years, things have gotten pretty out of control sometimes, and so the bikes have had to adapt and evolve to accommodate how tracks are being constructed these days.
For me in particular, being a smaller rider, the weight has been really important, and they were able to not only make this bike handle better, but also be as light as it needs to be to dominate on some World Cup courses.